Welcome back, everyone. Captain here with another Commander deck tech. This time I'm going tribal. We going tribal on your ass. Me and Iroas, I believe is how you say his name. Iroas, he is god of the little people. That's right, god of the little people. We are in 2017, everyone. We can't be having we got Antifa fighting in the streets, causing mayhem. We can't be calling them munchkins. We're going to have some bad stuff going on. So we're calling them little people. So Iroas is the god of the little people. And as long as your devotion to red and white is less than 7, he isn't a creature. He's just an enchantment. Creatures you control can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures, which is menace. So creatures you control have menace, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to, wait a minute, I said that wrong. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control, which I think is basically what that is. I think that's maybe the errata. So this is my little people deck. Got some mountains. I forgot to count them. Who cares though, right? Got some mountains, and we got some plains. Got different arts. All those are the same. Got a few different arts on them. Switch them up. Stuff like that. 17 basics. Mix of the fire and the sun. Winding Canyons just gives my little people flash. If they're wanting to come out and play a little bit faster. Dwarven Ruins is just, on theme with little people. Spoiler alert. So it's not like super good, but yeah. Arcane Lighthouse. Good to get rid of your opponent's hexproof shroud. Because nobody likes that, right? My little people don't, that's for sure. Mana Confluence. Pay 1 life. Get a red or a white for that one. Thawing Glaciers. I have this in pretty much all of my decks. Super good mana ramp. Allows you to play a couple extra lands. Blighted Step. I haven't used it yet, but you can gain 2 life for each creature you control if you sacrifice it, so it seems pretty good. I got my army of little people out there. Homer Path. Each player gains control of all creatures he or she owns. That's good when somebody likes to steal, if anybody likes to steal my little people. Which they don't, because little people aren't usually that strong, but they can sneak out and get you. They can be sneaky. Command Tower, good for a 2-color deck. Sacred Foundry, gets you what you need. Ancient Tomb, just good mana ramp. Hurts you a little, but not bad. Ghost Quarter, land destruction. Get rid of whatever those pesky lands are. Terramorphic Expanse, shuffle effect, whatever land you need. Arid Mesa, same thing. Dwarven Hold, just another theme card, but you can also stack it up. I've stored 7 red on here before. 6, 5, just stack it up. Spend a bunch of red for some guys. Clifftop Retreat, either or. Mountain Plains. Sun Home gives a target creature double strike. It's alright. I could take it out if I find a better land, maybe. It's only 1 creature, but I don't know. Handwear Battlements, mainly in there just to give creature haste. I don't have the garrison. Cavern of Souls. Too bad you can't choose little people, but either good for... and here we're getting to the creatures. So we're either good for dwarves or we're for Kithkins. That's right, we're going mono little people here. So Cavern of Souls goes on either dwarf or Kithkin, whichever one I'm thinking. That's it for the land base. It's 18 non-basic lands for a whopping total of 35 lands. On to the creatures. First creature, I wanted to build this deck mainly for the 3-drop T'Pala, but I didn't want her to be the commander, and I found Iroas to be the god of the little people, so he'll just pump them all up, and he just stands and waves his shield and, does what he needs to do as an enchantment until there's too many little people, and then they just all come out swinging and smash hard. It's not that great of a deck, but it's a lot of fun. Toolcraft Exemplar becomes a 2/3 with first strike if you have 3 or more artifacts. So, people hate him in standard, but he's a good little guy. Look at him. Gold Medal Stalwart. As an additional cost, you have to reveal a Kithkin or pay an additional 3 mana, so that's usually pretty easy. So a 2/2 for 1 mana is pretty good. If you reveal Kithkin, which I usually can. Partick Miner. Sacrifice him. Target player can't play lands this turn. He's not like super good or anything, but he's a dwarf and there's not too many of them, so they all pretty much have to come in. This little guy. Veteran Motorist. Another new Kaladesh one. When it enters, you skirt or 2. And cruise a vehicle, does some other shit, but that's not really important because there's no vehicles in this deck. Bally Rush Banneret. Kithkin soldiers cost 1 colorless less. So he's good for getting those Kithkins out a little bit sooner. The Wizened Sen gives other Kithkins +1/+1, so she's good for pumping up your Kithkins. Amaru Kithkin. Creatures with power greater than 2 may not be assigned to block the Kithkin. And the blocker's power may be increased after blocking has been assigned. So it's, if it's a big guy, it can't block it. So whatever, that doesn't really matter. It's just a Kithkin. It's cool. Dwarven Lieutenant pumps up dwarves. Doesn't tap. He's pretty sweet. He's pissed off about something, so he's yelling down the ramparts. Get some other dwarves up here, and I'll pump them up. But I'm gonna yell at them too. They're not gonna have a good time. Dwarven Miner destroys lands. Look at him. He's fucking pissed. He was probably getting yelled at by the Dwarven Lieutenant all fucking day. So he's just gonna blow up all your lands because he's not having it. Today's a Monday for him. Kithkin Harbinger tutors out a Kithkin, puts it on top of your library. So there's a few Kithkins I'll look for, but just a good theme Kithkin. Depala pumps up your dwarves and does some stuff with vehicles, which doesn't matter. And whenever she becomes tapped, you can pay X, and then you reveal the top cards, put all dwarves and vehicles into your hand, the rest on the bottom of the library. So that's all right. I haven't really used it, but she's good for pumping up all the dwarves. So yeah, she's good. I think she's good in the 99. And Iroas just gives them all menace, which I like. Drugar Hedge Mage. When he comes into play, if you control 2 or more mountains, you can destroy an artifact. If you control 2 or more planes, you can destroy target enchantment. He's just a good dwarf, and he blows up stuff. Good stuff if you have lands, which you usually do. Dwarven Thumargist. He switches the power and toughness of a target creature until end of turn. Doesn't do anything super crazy. He's just another dwarf. Dwarger Mine Captain. He is a 2/1 and he does some stuff that doesn't really matter, but he untaps. I guess you could technically switch him with this guy and then untap him. Oh no, wait a minute. You tap this guy. Damn dope. I had something in here, did something with him, but he's just a dwarf. That's mainly the main thing. This guy's good for dwarves, even though there's not a whole lot of them. But Dwarven Recruiter, you search your library for any number of dwarf cards, reveal them, and then shuffle your library and put those dwarf cards on top in any order, so you can just get out whatever dwarves you want. He's yelling at some other guys. Him and the lieutenant are good at that. Yelling at all the dwarves, keep my guys in line. This guy also yells a lot too. Dwarven Blood Boiler. Tapping an untapped dwarf you control, so you can do it when they come out, even with summoning sickness. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, so he's a good pumper. You know, taps some dudes, yells at him, gets them pissed, gets them pissed. His battle cry unleashes an avalanche of dwarves. So I mean, shit. Hero responder, flying vigilance, lifelink. He's good. He's from Kaladesh. I thought he was, I mean, a 2/3 with all that shit on it. Hell yeah, he's going in. Fairgrounds Warden enters the battlefield. He Oblivion Ring. Yeah, that's a card. Oblivion Rings, something. So he's cool. He's from Kaladesh too. There's some good guys from Kaladesh. Good guys indeed. Kin's Bale Bodyguard comes into play with a 1/1 counter on it for each other Kithkin you control. When it's put into the graveyard from play, put a 1/1 Kithkin creature token for each counter on it. So he's going to throw. I mean, sometimes I tutor with the Kithkin Harbinger, I think is what it was. The tutor Kithkin. You can get him if you have a lot of Kithkins out or whatever. He's pretty sweet. Have some things that make some Kithkin tokens. Ballynock Cohort, first strike, gets 1/1 as long as you control another white creature. So, 3 mana for a 3/3 first strike because you usually have another white creatures. It's not too shabby. Oketra the True, brand new card. Just pulled her out of a pack, so I figured I'd put it in there because she makes warriors. I mean, that doesn't really matter in this deck, but she, has some other stuff. I just wanted to try her out. She's pretty cool. Double strike, indestructible. She can't attack or block unless you control at least 3 or other creatures. So, I mean, she'll kind of mess up the devotion, I guess. So she can block or attack, but I mean, you'll usually have enough creatures out there to make her work. Trying her out. Just got her. Thoughtweft Trio. This is another good Kithkin to tutor out. Has first strike vigilance. You can champion a Kithkin. I see. See, this is what the dope does to you. You have to actually sacrifice it unless you remove another Kithkin from the game, and then when this leaves play, you return that to play. I thought that was an option because it did something good when you champion it. See, this is what the dope does to you. Can block any number of creatures though, so it's pretty good. I mean, you can sack a 1/1 and get a 5/5 for 4 mana. First strike vigilance that can block a bunch of dudes. I mean, that's pretty cool. And just get one of a little 1/1 weenie ass piece of crap. I was gonna say this guy, but he's actually all right. But those guys are good. Perforos, God of the Forge. He's pretty mean. He people don't like him very much at all. But he's good for whenever another creature comes into control. He shoots them for 2 damage. So if I can start getting a lot of Kithkins and dwarves, all the little people will start filing in, rank and file. Perforos start just shooting, and yeah, then you can pump up all the guys, and man, they get excited. This is another sweet card to tutor up to. Springjack Shepherd has Chroma, which is the devotion. It's like the old school devotion. Comes into play, oh wow, look at that. Put an 0/1 white goat creature token into play for each white mana symbol in the mana cost of permanents you control. So he's pretty good if you can, have a bunch of your Kithkins and stuff out. Heliod, God of the Sun, just another sweet god. The gods. And I mean, shit, I just got Oketra the True, so that's another god to watch over the little people. Little people have a hard time defending themselves. They're so small, and they just have a hard life. So they need all the help from whatever gods there are. So he gives them vigilance to get through the day. Good old Heliod. Solemn Simulacrum. good in most decks. Just gets a land, hangs out with the little people, does what he does. Kithkin Rabble, these guys are fucking whacked out of their minds. None of them have eyes. I mean, they have eyes, but they are just, whew, they are on another plane. They're equal to the number of white permanents. The power and toughness of the Kithkin Rabble is equal to the number of white permanents you control. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. And those guys are whacked. Whacked hard. Druger David Baby. Druger Cave Guard has Wither, so it deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters, and you can pump him for a hybrid, give him +1/0. So he's alright. He's just another good dwarf. Main thing. Bomb Squad, I love this card. You can tap it to put a fuse counter on target creature, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, you put another fuse, or you put a fuse counter on each creature with a fuse counter on it. So each upkeep, anything with a fuse counter just gets another fuse counter on it. And then once it has 4 or more, you take all the fuse counters off and destroy it, and it deals 4 damage to the creature's controller. So that card it's pretty good. I mean, if you can throw the boots on it, Lightning Greaves or Swiftfoot Boots or whatever. I think I might just have Lightning Greaves in this deck. But I mean, if you can just throw that on it, and protect it, and just start murking shit, it's pretty sweet. Gold Medal Lookout. Just another Kithkin, and I got a foil one. I love the Future Sight cards. I just like how the future shifted or future sighted ones, whatever they're called. And this was a foil. It was like $1, so I was like, oh yeah. But you just discard a card, put a Kithkin out, so he's gonna get tokens out. Whatever you do. Mind Layer. I literally just got this guy. I haven't played with him yet, but he is gonna be sweet. I already know it. Tap 2, tap him, put a mind counter on a land, and if they tap that land when it has a mind counter on it, you just destroy it, and then when he leaves play, you just take all the mind counters off. So once again, if you could put the boots on him, protect him, and just start hitting lands, I mean, they're either going to tap it and blow it up, or, they're not going to tap that land, so they're fucked. Basically is what I'm trying to say. Either way, they're in trouble. Balefire Liege. Other red and white creatures I control get +1/+1, so that's pretty good because that's what all the little people are. It just so happens. Whenever you play a red spell, lightning bolts target player. Whenever you play a white spell, you gain 3 life. He's pretty good. Kithkin Spellduster. He's a flying 2/3. He has persist and he can destroy enchantments. He's just a Kithkin, but he's pretty sweet because he flies. The little people. When you're so small, you think you're ever gonna fly. No, this guy isn't really flying either. He is like a balloon, like whatever's going on over here. That's what he's in. So he's not even like a real flying guy. He's a fucking wannabe. But hey, we need some flying in this deck, so he's good for that. Urobosk, one of the few. I only have a few non-Kithkin. Non-dwarves, I even have the gods and Urobosk, the hidden, gives all my little people haste and makes all my opponent's guys enter tap, so he's pretty good for helping out the little people. He scares them, but he's good anyways. Combustible Gear Hulk. He's whatever. I got him out of a pack, so I threw him in. He seems alright, but I don't know if I'm really gonna keep him in there. He is from Kaladesh, so the dwarves kind of wanted to try him out. First strike 6/6, does some other shit. Doesn't really matter. So that's all. That's all the creatures. 35 of those fools. A lot of little people and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the main thing of the deck. Is just trying to get some little people out and flood the board hard with them and use up some of these artifact enchantments we got here to pump them up. Just have some mana ramp with some mana crypt. Skull Clamp is good if you want to kill any of your little people. They're not too fond of that. I usually don't do it. They don't like that. But every once in a while, you can sack a token and get a couple cards, and they're usually okay with that. But they don't like self-sacrifice. I'll tell you that. Soul Ring, mana ramp, Malicious Pride. Whenever a non-creature token attacks, you can pay a white, and then you can put a 1/1 Kithkin Soldier creature token into play, tapped and attacking. So that's pretty good. Puts tokens out, pumps up all my guys. Does the thing that the deck's supposed to do. Umezawa Jite, very good. Throw that on a little guy, he gets even more pissed off. Ichor Wellspring is just good for, drawing cards. There's not too much card draw. There's not too much, like tutoring for lands and stuff in this deck. It's not like super tuned and it's not like super good or anything. So I threw this in because I think it's just good if it just gets blown up. Sometimes somebody blows it up for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. So, Grim Monolith, same thing, mana ramp. Boros Signet gets that mana you need now. There's those famous boots I was talking about earlier, except these are greaves, actually. Honor of the Pure. White creatures you control get +1/+1, so it's good for pumping up the little people because they're so small. That's what I know. A lot of these things are just pumping up the little people because they're just little people. They need some help sometime. So this pumps them up some more and does some stuff with some combat. At the beginning of the next combat, or you exile the creatures, and then at the beginning of the next combat, return those creatures to the battlefield under your owner's control, and they gain haste. Mainly just use it for the pump effects. Don't really use it for that. Glorious Anthem, pump up those little people. Spear of Helion, pump up those little people. Sword of Feast of Famine, pump up that one little person. And give them protection and untap all your lands and do that nasty stuff. Same with Sword of Fire and Ice. Throw that on a little guy. They love to get suited up with stuff. And Throwing Dynamo, just some mana ramp. Berserker's Onslaught gives all attacking creatures double strike, so that's good for giving the little people. Cathar's Crusade, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under control, you put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. So that's good for pumping up all the little people even more. When they all, they all start popping in, doing what they do, yelling and stuff. Dictate of Heliod, pump up those little people. And True Conviction gives them double strike and lifelink. So just pumps up the little people some more. Warstorm Surge is good if all the little people just start coming in. I mean, if you can have some of these pump effects on and they're coming in as 3/3s, 4/4s, I mean, they can start doing some damage. Gleam of Battle, whenever a creature attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on it, so that's super good. Haven't seen this one yet. Honestly, forget that it's in there because I haven't seen it yet, but it's sweet. I know that. So that's all the enchantments and artifacts. 22 of those Ma's. And there's only 7 cards left for the Sorceries and Instants. Path to Exile. Get rid of that pesky card that the little people can't get rid of. Surge of Thought Weft. Creatures you control get +1 until end of turn. If you control Kithkin, which you usually do, you draw a card. Pretty good. Boros Charm is good just to 4 mana damage to the face. Gives you guys indestructible or double strike. Usually just 4 damage to the face, so it's pretty good. Collective Effort from Eldritch Moon. Destroys target creature for a greater. Puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control. That's usually what I use it for. And I mean, you can escalate tap untapped creatures, so I mean, if you have enough guys out there, you can usually do all those. Chaos Warp. This is just good for getting rid of a pesky permanent or, something I have that I'm just like, fuck it. Let's try and get something better. Savage Beating. I've won a few games with this. You just entwine it and give all your guys double strike until end of turn, and then get an additional other combat phase. So you're just going to swing in and give them double hit for double strike, and then do it again. So I mean, I've had a good little board state of little people out, and then it's just like boom, dead as fuck. And last card is Insurrection, which just untap all creatures and gain control of them, and they gain haste. So until end of turn, you control them until end of turn, and they get haste until end of turn. So it's pretty good. So yeah, that was Iroas, God of the Little People. He's a lot of fun. He's not like super good or anything. He doesn't blow people out of the water, but it's a lot of fun. So thanks for watching.